Hey, welcome back to another coin video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys about the S mintmarks. So, as y'all know, the S mintmark were created at San Francisco Mint when a mint was in operation for business strikes or proofs. However, I will be showing you only the business strikes S mints. Now, the thing is about S mintmarks is that their design has not stayed consistent. No, it has changed, 15 times. Now, I won't show you guys all of those 15 varieties. I will only show you guys the transitional varieties. Now, there are 3 I will skip because I'm a coin roll hunter and I don't have these coins. The 1981S, the 1979S, and the 1928S. The 1928S, it should be pretty clear because the difference is the small s, which is this one, versus the large S, which is much bigger and thicker. However, the ones I will be covering are the 1941S varieties, 44S, 45S, 46S, 47S, 52S, and 74S mintmark styles. So, let's get into it. Now, this first style I'm showing you right here in front of you is called the small s, and it was used from 1917 through 1941, and there was a transitional in 1941. However, I do not have any 1941S wheat pennies. I do have both varieties of the S mintmark. So this is a small s, and let's see, the other one is called the Serif or large S. Oops. There we go. So this one's identifiable by its gentle curvature and slight serifs, sort of blobby. Versus this one, which I have a 1947 here. Oops, that's the sans serif, sorry. Let's see, where is a Serif S? How about a 1946? So this is a Serif S. This is the large Serif S, actually. And it is identifiable by having a thick midsection. And the top half of the S is very thin. However, it does not diminish. So those two would be appearing on the 1941. The next duplicate styles are 1944S, in which case you can have the straight serif or the ball serif. Here is a version of the straight serif. This was only used okay, maybe this won't work. So the straight serif is identified by the it will have, at the ends of each side of the S, the cap off or the serif is a straight line. So if you were to look closely, it is not rounded, it is perfectly up and down bars. Versus the ball serif. This one's much easier to identify. This is a 1945, which I have it on. However, it was also used in 1944 and 1946. So this one you can identify by looking at the top part of the S. And the S should almost disappear and then become really thick again up there. So if you don't have that, you probably have the straight serif on the 1944. I'll leave this one up because the next variety year is 1945. And the 1945 has the Serif S or the ball serif S, and that's the serif or large S that I showed you earlier. So it's this one with the thinning top, thinning bottom, thick middle, and straight bars. The following year, again, there were varieties. 1946 had the bowl serif. This one, that's the rarest of the 1946 serifs. It has the serif S, which you've already seen. It also has the sans serif S, which means that there are no tips to the S. So if you look closely at its edges, you'll see that there's nothing there. It just ends. And the final year in the 40s would be the 1947 S. And so it has both the sans serif and serif varieties. So this is the sans serif. It's the only one I have, of the 1947 anyway. This one's much clearer. You can see the there's nothing on the ends of the S. And then there's the serif again. I suppose I'm using 1952 this time, because I have a couple of these. Another thing about it is that you'll see the serif of the top part of the S nearly touches the middle chunk. So that's another way to tell them apart. And then, one of the last years I'm going to cover is the 52 S's. Now, I think these are about the hardest to tell apart. Now, you saw the one that I showed you before. Well, this is the other S. This is called the tall S. And really, unless you've got a very good shot of the S, you're not going to be able to see it. The difference is that with the sans serif, it's actually lighter, and it does touch the middle bar. This one has more rounded serifs. This one also caps off earlier. So, like, the curvature of the S, the right side, you'll see that the serif does not go all the way out to the side. It only gets halfway. However, on the other S, oh, I remember that being a thing. Ignore that. Yeah, they're very similar. I think the serif S has a bit of a thinner top as well. Yeah, that's how I differentiated them. So look at the top bar, and it should be thick on the tall S, thin on the serif. Alright, that's it for the 52S. I should leave up the tall S because that's the other variety in the final S mint I will cover, which is the 1974. So there's the tall S, and these are pretty easy to tell apart because it's that or the blob S. And I think this is self-explanatory because the S is just in its own little blob. Everything is really thicked out. It's very blotchy, it's very blobby. So that's gonna do it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.